An outdoor ball and an indoor ball. The outdoor ball will have like 40 holes in it. The indoor has 26. Basically, if I take a pickleball and hold it from 6 feet in height and drop it, it drops below the net height. So in pickleball, you want to try to keep the ball low, except 2 times. On the serve, you want to keep it high and deep, and on the return, high and deep. So in the green lines, that's the pickleball court. And you'll see that it's basically 20 by 44. So 20 feet wide, and then this area here you can see is the rectangle. This is called the non-volley zone. This area here is also called the kitchen, and this line is part of the non-volley zone. This line is part of the kitchen. So this area here, this is the area you cannot hit the ball in the air and be standing in here. You cannot hit the ball in the air and fall into here. You cannot hit the ball in the air and touch your paddle. You can't touch that area. You have to show stability after you hit the volley that you're not falling in there, okay? Now, if I'm hitting the ball back and forth and the ball bounces in this area, I can step in this area and be able to hit it back, okay? So the only time you can go in here is if the ball bounces and you can go in here to hit it. If I'm standing in here, the ball better bounce before I touch it, because if I hit it in the air, I lose the rally. Then back here, there's 2 other spots. There's the right side box and the left side. The right side box is this area I'm standing in, the outside line, the base line back there, the green one, and the middle line. Notice how I did not say the line in front. So when you serve the ball, you must serve the ball past the non-volley zone and the non-volley zone line. It cannot touch that area. And you always serve from the right to the right when you start out as a serving team. Again, this is the right side. Then this box over here is the left side. Same idea. Middle line, outside line, and the base line in this area over here. Okay? You play up to 11, you win by 2. The only time you are able to score is when you're serving or your partner is serving. Okay, so anytime you win a rally against your opponents, you either make them have the second person serve or you become the serving team. All right, so in serving, I'm the only person that has to stand in a particular area. Everybody else can stand anywhere they want, but there's recommended areas for those 3 people to stand. As a server, I have to stand behind this line, the base line, in between the middle line and the imaginary line, the outside line and the imaginary line. So I have to stand back here. I have 3 different options. I can bounce the ball in front of the line in the playing surface and make a stroke below my wrist, below my waist here. So my stroke would be like this. I just bounce it and I hit it from right side to right side. Okay? Or I can bounce it back behind the line and go from right to right. Or the third option is I can just hit it in the air from right to right. So those are 3 ways that you can serve whatever you feel comfortable with. But it's like a pendulum motion, okay, or a bowling motion. Again, I'm going to start serving, and my partner is going to stand back with me, back here. And the reason my partner is going to be back here is that in pickleball, they make it so there's a 2 bounce rule, meaning my serve has to bounce, the return has to bounce before anybody can think about hitting the ball in the air. So Rebecca's going to be back here with me. All right? Chris is going to be behind the baseline because he wants to play everything in front of him. Okay? So he's going to make sure that he's playing everything in front of him. And then Stavros is going to be up at the non-volley zone, but he's going to stand behind that green line because he's going to get ready to volley, because he's hoping that Rebecca and I, when we hit that ball back, that he's up there and he can volley. All right? So it doesn't matter what right now, the reason he can stand there is that, number 1, I have to get the serve in. And number 2, Chris has to get the ball back. So now the 2 bounce rule has come into play. So he might as well be up at the net because by the time it gets to him, he can volley. Okay? All right. So when we start out, the serving team in the beginning, only 1 person is a server. Then after that, both players will get an opportunity to serve, okay? But when you start out, I'll say my score, which is also Rebecca's score because we're a team, and then I'll say our opponent's score, and then I'll say what server I am. So I'd say 0, 0, and I'd say start. And by saying start, everybody knows that I'm really the last server because I'm starting the game out. Okay, the fact that I'm starting out brand new, nobody's ever gotten to serve yet, that's the starting server. That means that I'm the only one that gets to serve this particular rotation, meaning I get to keep serving until Rebecca and I lose. All right, so the other thing is, in tennis, you get served, 2 serves. You get a first serve and a second serve. In pickleball, you only get 1 serve. All right, so I have to serve underhand, all right, below my waist, and I get only 1 serve. I serve from the right side to the right side, and then we have a 2 bounce rule. So 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and now we play it out. Oh, we won it. Good job, Rebecca. All right, let's go this side. Oh, now 1, 0. Okay, they have 0, 1, 0, and I'm still a starter. So I say 1, 0, start. Go 1 ball, 2 ball. There we go. Okay, so we lost the rally. So again, we started the game out as a starter. Now they get to serve. All right, so Chris is going to be the server. There's the only time you're going to switch is when you're the serving team and you win a point. So he's going to say 0, 1, and he's going to say 1, indicating that he's the first server for their team. Yeah. Okay, so then he missed it. So we won the rally. So Rebecca's going to move up. I'm going to move back. Chris is going to move back. 0, 1, 2. He's telling us he's the second server. All right, go ahead. Serves it underhand. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. There we go. All right, sides because they won the rally. So what's the score now? 1, 1, 2. So he's still letting us know that he's the second server. Chris is going to be back because of the 2 bounce rule. Okay? I asked him to do that just so you guys know that, we all make mistakes. All right, here we go. 1, 1, 2. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. That's a good drop shot. Good. All right, so I'm just going to help her out because she's hurt, right? Now, the reason I just got to make sure that now since we won that rally, look at their strategizing against us. All right, so here we go. So we won the rally. So now the score is 1, 2, and now she's going to let them know that she's the first server for our team. All right, so you're not always going to be a 1, and you're not always going to be a 2. You're going to be a 1 if you're on the right side and you happen to be starting out the serving. So she's a 1, they're a 2, and she's a 1. Here we go. Okay, so she hit it short, so she didn't hit it past the non-volley zone or the line, so we lose the rally. Again, now we're going to serve to Chris. I'm going to say 1, 2, and I'm a 2 now. All right, here we go. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. Good. Here we go. So I'm going to make sure I keep it low so they can't attack us. All right. Okay? So then we just won that rally. So now we have 2, 2, and I'm still a 2. Okay? Other than starting out the game, the only time that your team, as a team, the only time you have only 1 person serving for a rotation is when you initially start the game out. After that, both players will get an opportunity to serve. So, score is 2, 2, and I'm a 2. Okay, so 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 2, 2, 1. So 2, 2, and he's the first server. Play up to 11, win by 2. Okay, so Rebecca's going to move all the way up. All right, here we go. We're ready. There you go. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. Good, here we go. All right, so now it's 2, 2, and Chris is telling us that he's the second server. All right, there you go. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. Good. Nice. Ooh, that was just a little wide, I think. All right. All back and forth like this. This is called dinking. Dinking like this. Okay, we can go like this. So keep it to me, Stavro, up here. There you go. Okay, so I'm not in the kitchen. I'm outside the kitchen. I can do that. As long as I do not touch the kitchen, I can go around here and hit the ball. Okay? There may be times when somebody hits the ball high and you jump in the air like this and hit it. You can do that. Okay? The other thing is if I hit a ball and my ball hits with weird spin, and it bounces on this side and then spins back, if they don't touch the ball, we win the rally. Okay, so if the ball bounces and it spins back this way, then Stavro can reach over, as long as he doesn't touch the net, go ahead and reach over, and he can hit that ball into the net or whatever. Okay, so again, those are two things that are really odd. The other one is this, is that you give me an ATP. So here we are, back and forth, going back and forth, hitting it. This is called dinking. So now the ball's in, the ball was in, and what I did is I went around the post. That's an ATP, around the post, ATP. All right, so you're allowed to do that. I don't have to hit it over the net. I can go around the net, okay? So those are three odd things that can happen in pickleball. The ATP, or I go around here, that's called an Ernie, okay? Or if the ball bounces and spins back, you can reach over. That's the only time you can reach over the net and hit the ball. What we're going to do is we're going to take our paddle and we're going to do little taps. All right, so that way you just get little control, little taps. Okay? Now you're going to do what I call popcorn, because you guys are going to be running all over. Do this, go back and forth. Let's wear out both sides of the paddle. Wear both sides out. Yeah, pretty good. All right. There they go. They're on the route. They're running around. We lose them around the gym. All right. Okay. Cooperative. You're going to cooperative hit. So Chris and I are going to go like this. We're going to have 4 people across, and we're just going to just tap it back and forth into the kitchen. Nice and soft into the kitchen. Just nice and soft into the kitchen. Nice soft taps. Yep. Just tap back and forth. One person, 4 people on the court. 1, 2, 4 people in the court, and then the other extras right here at the net. Yep. Yep. Come on over here. Yep. Right here. Okay. Very good.